Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Doctor's In. I'm your doctor, C.G. Weinberg, and today your prescription is my favorite Lewis book. Now, I have read a decent portion of C.S. Lewis's books, and there isn't a bad one that I've read yet. So I've done all of Narnia, I've done all the Ransom trilogy, Great Divorce, Screwtape, Mere Christianity, and so far I really enjoy all of them. So this is not knocking any other book of his. There's plenty of books I don't like. His, you can read all of them that I've read so far. Any other ones, go forth, be blessed. The one I'm talking about today, though, is my favorite one, and I like to talk about it because no one else ever says it's their favorite one. But I think it's fantastic. So, my favorite one is none other than The Abolition of Man. Now, a lot of people say their favorite one is That Hideous Strength, which is the last one of the Ransom trilogy, and it's fine. I don't think Lewis writes action very well, and so like the end of That Hideous Strength, the end of Till We Have Faces, all of his action scenes always seem super jumbled to me. They don't clearly depict what's happening, so I don't really like them. But this one and That Hideous Strength is the fiction version of this book, which is why I point that out. So if you want to see this one embodied, it is That Hideous Strength, which, I mean, it's fantastic. You should go read that one too. But this one's my favorite. It is philosophy, which is why I tend to like it more. It's really, I think it's very clear what he's trying to do and tell in this book. But weirdly, I've read with people and they don't get it. So, if you're not familiar with C.S. Lewis, I'm sorry, you live in a box. Get out of there. I actually named my second son Clive because of C.S. Lewis. If you didn't know, his name is Clive Staples Lewis, even though he always went by Jack to all his friends. But my second son, Clive Oxley, is named after C.S. Lewis. But this book is good old philosophy, and it's actually a philosophy of education, which is a double whammy for me. I like philosophy, I like education, I'm a teacher, a professor, and so this one to me hits home. So, it starts off, it's broken up into 3 chapters, Men Without Chest, The Way, and, I didn't actually write that chapter down, but yeah, The Abolition of Man. So, what is a man without chest? If you don't know, Lewis, who is a good Christian Platonist, is hearkening back to Plato. So Plato saw society broken up under 3 classes of men. He had the lowest class, which would be what, this is all in Plato's Republic, by the way, which I'll review someday, probably in several videos because I really enjoy it. But the lowest class of citizens, which is the largest class, is also going to be made up of husbandmen, is one word used for it, but basically the blue collar workers, and those workers are ruled by the stomach and the center of passions. The next step up in society is going to be the soldier class, and they are ruled by the chest, which is going to be virtue. And finally, the upper class, which is the guardians, and they are ruled by the mind, i.e. wisdom. And so Lewis is looking at society breaking up. So remember, John Dewey is going strong in trying to make public education for everyone. And so they are trying to control the passions of kids and fill their mind with knowledge, but without any virtue. And he does, there's one particular paragraph that I find really, really good. And it's actually the last paragraph of chapter 1 that I'm going to read to you real quick. It goes like this, quote, "And all the time, such is the tragicomedy of our situation, we continue to clamor for those very qualities we are rendering impossible. You can hardly open a periodical without coming across the statement that what our civilization needs is more drive, more dynamicism, more self-sacrifice or creativity. In a sort of ghastly simplicity, remove the organ and demand the function. We make men without chests and expect of them virtue and enterprise. We laugh at honor and are shocked to find traitors in our midst. We castrate and bid the gelding be fruitful. Man, that is fantastic. I mean, that paragraph alone, I think, is worth reading this book. Because that just sums up our society today. And we are downwind of this completely. We no longer have men of virtue anymore. And it's quite sad. Lewis saw it in his time. Nearly 100 years later, we are seeing the fruits of it today. But he doesn't leave us there. Because he then goes on the next chapter, which is the way. Which him is the Tao, which is spelled like this. But the Tao to Lewis, now, Chinese word, but he is trying to appeal to all men in this one, so I don't mind him doing it. It's again Lewis trying to redeem something that's out there. So he's taking the Tao and saying the fact that all men, if they are honest, know that we know virtue. I mean, this is Romans 1. Every man knows what is right. And that is the Tao. We understand virtue. We all know it. Let's just start there and go. Let's start with that. And that's what he's appealing to in the second portion. And then finally, he's giving the wrap up in the chapter, The Abolition of Man. That is, man is trying to conquer nature, and in doing so, destroys himself. So in man's pursuit to have control over the elements, he makes himself into an animal. And I think a really good image of this, if you want to see it, of course you can read That Hideous Strength, but also, let's see, it's going to be, why do I always do this myself? I think of illustrations as I'm in the video. Okay, Brave New World by Huxley is what I'm thinking of. That is a fantastic picture of the Abolition of Man chapter in this book. So the book Abolition of Man, the chapter Abolition of Man in the book, Brave New World by Huxley is a fantastic picture of that. And what happens to the savage at the end is exactly what will happen if we keep going in our way. But you have to read that book too to know what happens. So why do I love this book? It gives me marching orders. It shows me what am I fighting and what am I fighting for. It tells me how to parent, how to teach, how to instruct, how and what I'm growing in myself and those around me. And it also gives me a really good picture of what I want to leave behind. So I want to build schools, colleges, churches, institutions that know that man must control his passions, must be virtuous, and must have wisdom. Which is why I'm doing all the books I'm doing, is because they all will either show that or I'm going to criticize them for not. And that is what I want for you all, is to grow in your control of your passions, grow in your virtue, grow in your wisdom, for the sake of yourself and your children and the following generations. So I leave you with this question. How do you develop your stomach, chest, and head? Go ahead and leave comments below on what you think you should be doing. Give me a like if you like this video. Subscribe if you would like to know when I release something new. And share this with anyone who is in the current education system, because they need to read this book. If you're in education, you must read this book. And if you don't agree with it, repent, because you're wrong. This book is gold for any parent or educator out there. So read it, love it, and change your ways if you're not doing this already. That is your prescription for today. And with that, the doctor is out.